Greetings, meatbags. We come to you with a potentially, well, not an enormous deal, but something kind of big. Recently, someone started a channel dedicated to defending lol cows, specifically Raxo and Andy Ditch. Current thought is that this is either Andy or Cyraxx himself. We offer a different theory and some receipts to back it up.
Spud Dud, aka Potato, obviously used a voice changer, and it is quite good, we'll give that much. However, we couldn't help noticing it shared not only his POV on the lolcow community, but also his speech impediment. Timbo, your labiodental substitution burns right through the disguise. It's what happens when you substitute the letters T and H with F. So the word threats becomes frets. Thread becomes Fred. Think instead of think. You also substitute the letter N for the letter D quite often. My friends think I'm making frets.
We also couldn't help noticing how he borrowed our format, opinion, and copyright music. Don't get us wrong, we're not saying we are the only ones who can use this format. We're not claiming ownership. However, it's something that made us look just a little bit closer. By the way, removing music isn't really that big of a hassle, Timbo.
Oh! Can I do the quick description of Potato, please?
Answer. Affirmative. Knock yourself out.
Potato is a confirmed PDF file, lolcow and horror cow who thinks he's Jesus Christ 2.0. But only sometimes. Other times he's God. Still others he's just a divine dude. When it was revealed in late 2018, early 2019 that he SA'd his stepsister, he was cancelled. But he came back as Tim Dooley Potato Life. Side note, stepsister was 6 or 7 at the time. Please refer to this text message of him admitting it to his ex and this linked video where he tries to excuse himself. In short, he's a less repulsive looking version of Meaty Me.
He seriously thinks the lolco community is a cult. See the linked video for just one example. He has also expressed sympathy for Raxo. A link to that video will appear as soon as the link for the first one disappears. Now, why would a PDF stick up for a PDF like Raxo? Because in his mind, if he can somehow fix Cyraxx, he will have earned redemption for being a sicko. But you might ask, where did Andy Ditch come from? A fair question that only makes us more sure it's Timbo. You see, recently Spud Dud has been bragging about his royal proclamation of freedom. We call it his Andy Ditch arc. He lives in Denmark, by the way, and he is now on disability. So when he says royal, he means like King of Denmark royal. Anyway, he claims ADHD is preventing him from doing life in general. Except ADHD is treatable, and Timbo doesn't want it to be treated. He doesn't like doctors, you see. Who else do we know that wants to be declared disabled, but isn't actually handicapped? Andy Ditch. We pointed this out to Timbo, that his ADHD disability play is the start of his Andy Ditch arc. Less than 48 hours later, we have videos like this.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I am going to be talking to you about local culture and their victims. And now, local culture consists of making fun of others and tormenting others and harassing others.
And off the bat, letter substitution. D for TH is also another common error he makes, and in general the impediment itself is weird. There are times where he pronounces things correctly. Literally, he'll say things instead of things. We use that as a sign indicating he's not thinking about what he's saying, for the times his impediments become obvious. On the other hand, maybe utters is a Freudian slip by a lolcow too?
Side note. Do not worry. We will provide examples of Timbo next to the female voice doing the same pronunciation errors. Right now, we're just getting you ready by telling you what to expect.
It's to the point where they would lose their mind. This culture is really, really sick because I don't understand why people think it's like these people. These just cult started on a website called Kiwi Farms.
This is what originally made the meatbag take notice and say, hey, that sounds like the shit Timbo is always saying. Cults and Kiwi Farms. Timbo has a very special relationship with the farms and Josh Moon. In his potato lingo, KF is called the Moon Cube, or Moon Box. It's the place where wrangled shadows are stored. We know that made absolutely no sense, but that's what he says. We think it translates like this. Shadows equal embarrassing things. Wrangled means talking about them. Anyway, suffice it to say he is obsessed both with Kiwi farms and cults harassing him, making this a great big tell.
And it started with one person called Christian back in a long time ago. So he was the first so-called locale. Well, that has escalated, I think ever since 2018 or 2019. It has escalated to a whole bunch of other people who became victims of this cult. And now this cult, they called their victims cows, which I find is really degrading and inhumane to call a person a cow or an animal. Now, I have someone who's really close to me who's fallen victim of this sick cult too. So, you know, I feel like it's not right to reach these people, and I decided to become an advocate to stand up for people who have been wrongfully convicted or wrongfully accused of things. So today we're going to talk about Chance Wilkins. Now, Chance is a guy from Akron, Ohio, and he's fallen victim of this sick cult by people who have accused him of being a pedophile. Now, I don't believe any of that stuff is true, because
Here we have another Spud Dud giveaway. He loves to say evidence has been faked or cooked, but he seems to equally love not saying how. For example, more than once he's accused the meatbag of lying about him. More than once, Timbo has failed to identify anything specific, looping back to general statements like, "You're just full of shit." Note how he will not offer any follow-up other than the evidence being cooked, which, by the way, is another word he uses quite a bit. Whenever AI is coming up with new bullshit for him, he says it's cooked.
this sick cult has made up lies about people, and it's clear it has made up lies about a lot of people, and some of it is untrue. Like we're talking about Keffels, who was literally driven out of the U.S. because of these sick fuckers. Jess Liswells. Not that she literally lives in the U.S. anymore, thanks to these fuckers. Who literally, basically did the same thing they did to Chance, they did to her. But I'll be honest with you, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think the evidence against Chance Wilkins was cooked. Yes, I think it was cooked, just like in Prison Break, where Lincoln got accused of murdering this guy, and of course Michael Scofield had to go and rescue.
And that was it. That was the only thing even close to evidence she cited. And really, as far as evidence goes, the plot of a TV show seems pretty far away from close. However, this is another Timbo tell. He loves conspiracies. Everything is a conspiracy. Tell him his idea of content is weak. Conspiracy. Here we have someone putting forward a conspiracy theory that Raxo was selected by a cult for harassment. Literally the last person we've heard say anything like that was Spud Dud. Now, let's have a listen to some of Timbo's transient trouble with word pronunciation, focusing on the errors very similar to the voice changer.
Will fix their shit, because I am not going to go through this one more time. To go through this one more time. To go through this one more time. To go through this one more time.
Yeah,
I'll find you before I go through this one more time. I'll find you through this one more time. I'll find you through this one more time. I'll find you. Come and they should your fucking throat, fucking throat, fucking throat. Right? But it's very confusing for people because they think it's the other way around. It's the most because they think it's. Can you not see? I've been through abuse for 8 years. What do you think abuse looks like? Been through think abuse. Well, I think that he had something to do with it because there was a lot of strings. There was a lot of strings.
That's the thing is that it's not. That's the thing is that it's not. That's the thing is that it's not, because I'll have to hear this every single day. And that's why everybody left. Because I'll have to hear this every single day. And that's why everybody left. Because I'll have to hear this every single day. And that's why everybody left.
I'll be honest with you, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think the evidence. I'll be honest with you, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think the evidence. I'll be honest with you, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think the evidence. Local culture consists of making letters and tormenting others and harassing others. It has escalated to a whole bunch of other people who became victims of this cult. Local culture consists of making letters and tormenting others and harassing others. It has escalated to a whole bunch of other people who became victims of this cult. Local culture consists of making letters and tormenting others and harassing others. It has escalated to a whole bunch of other people who became victims of this cult.
We've been watching this guy for a little over 6 months. This is all well within his capabilities. All he had to do was ask ChatGPT to recommend a voice changer. And maybe he spent some of his hash money on it. Maybe he got another handout from Mommy for the new thing he absolutely needed to have for his quote-unquote job. Plus, there's the most compelling part of all that also has receipts. Timbo has tried to defend Raxo in the past. In fact, we're gonna let the rest of Freebird play out to Spud Dud sticking up for the Goblin in September.
We're gonna be proven wrong again.
Don't interrupt, please.
Because only bitch-ass cowards hold on to the past. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. You're holding
Didn't you just say Marty's been kicking on you for 7 years?
Okay, hang on. So, Chance, maybe
holding on to the past.
Hey, average.
Chance.
To the average from the others, this is all a narrative to them. You think they give a fuck about you guys? They don't care about you, average. They don't care about any of you guys, average. It's all a narrative to them.
There is truth to that. So the people that have a strong opinion, you have to weigh that into your considerations. And so we appreciate that people take these things into considerations. Thank you, Chance.
No problem. Why guys up?
Praying for your mommy.
Fucking tough guy act, bro.
Come on, guys.
I got my ass kicked, but at least I still showed up. Unlike
Marty showed up too.
Okay. How about we, this is...
For me, it's not a tough guy act. It's a way of life that I've had to adapt. And that ain't all.
Am I allowed to interrupt to have a moment?
Sure. But how about this? How about we just reset for a moment and we just say, well, this is all the old, things. We could always more. So let me.
I will be right back. So you asked if somebody got to take care of them on my YouTube channel. I'm catching you guys.
Cool. That's cool. Okay, so I'm just trying to establish some peace here. So what I heard was that that's pretty much the best you can get, and so I don't see what the issue is here, because if you continue, then you're just proving that you're an abuser, right? He's right about something. You have to give him space to grow. Otherwise, how could you grow into anything?
What? He's never right about anything. He's a fucking pedophile. You actually believe this shit?
The same thing for like 7 years.
So, taken as a whole, this is what we have. A sicko, confirmed, trying to get a second chance for Chance fucking Wilkins. The manlet has had more chances than anyone to prove himself, and he always shows exactly who he is. Would the guy you just heard sticking up for Raxo stick up for him again? You bet your ass. Tell him why 6-0.
We're almost certain that Timbo believes if he can somehow reform Raxo, he can be redeemed for what he did to his stepsister. Silly Spud Dud, that's not how anything in reality works. Anyway, we know this isn't exactly a smoking gun, and people are likely to still think it's Raxo or Andy. That's cool. We're not totally sure ourselves. However, If this person continues to put out videos, it's a sure bet they'll keep making the same kinds of mistakes over time. We'll be watching. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Have a splendid week, please.